Okay, so in this video, we'll solve this question here. So we are given this equation. Explain clearly why x has this range of values. Whenever we see a logarithm question and we see range of values, the first thing we think of is whenever I have a logarithm, doesn't matter what base it is, but whatever the argument is, let's just say is a must be more than 0. It must be positive. Okay, so in order for log base whatever to be defined, okay, let me rephrase this. Okay, so for this to be defined, okay, for log base whatever a to be defined, okay, a must be more than 0. Okay, so in this case, right, if they ask us to explain why x has this range of values, all we need to do is we need to look at all the logarithm terms, and we want to enforce that these two things, this is more than 0, this is also more than 0. So let's write down in steps. The first thing is that maybe I want to write down that 4 minus x squared. Okay, let's write down for log base 2, 4 minus x squared to be defined, comma, 4 minus x squared must be more than 0. In this case, this means that x squared must be less than 4. Okay, just manipulate it a little bit. Now I want to solve this. Actually, no. Let me write it like this. I'm just gonna multiply negative 1, negative 1. So this will be x squared minus 4. But because I multiply by a negative number, the inequality sign flips. I get this. If I want to solve this inequality, this is a quadratic inequality. So when you have a quadratic inequality, you always consider the equality case. So let's consider when it's equal to 0. In this case, I can solve this very easily. This x must be plus minus 2, which means the x squared minus 4 curve looks like this. It's a smiley face curve. I will have the two roots, negative 2 and positive 2. I want to solve for the case where it's less than 0, which is this part. Okay, so this part is when x squared minus 4 is less than 0. Okay, so I will get the inequality or the range of values, negative 2 to 2, not inclusive. That means I'm not including the values negative 2 and 2 exactly. So it's just a less than symbol. Okay, the next step will be to consider the other logarithm term. So for log base root 2, x minus 1 to be defined, okay, x minus 1 must be more than 0. In this case, it's just x is more than 1. Okay, so nothing much here. We don't really need to do much work. So now let's combine them together. So combining equations 1 and 2, okay, combining two of them, let's draw a number line just so that it's a little bit easier to read. We have negative 2, 2, and then let's say 1 is here. We have negative 2 up to 2, so let's draw these two open circles. That just means that negative 2 and 2 itself, themselves, are not included in the inequality. The second inequality is that I have 1 and above, right? More than 1. So the overlap is this part. Okay. Therefore, x is between 1 and 2. Done. So the explanation part is actually the first two steps. The last step is just to kind of like round things up. So yeah. Okay, part B. Hence, solve the equation and show that it has only one solution. based on the hence part, and that we just showed what the range of values of x is, most likely we will get more than one solution, and we might have, or we should have to reject one of them. So let's solve this equation. Let's copy out first. So I have log 2 4 minus x squared minus log base square root of 2 x minus 1 equals to 1. Alright. Unfortunately, we have two different bases, so I should change base. Okay, so I'm gonna write some notes at the top here. I realize that I have two different bases. I will need to do change of base. Okay, and then the 1 here is actually equals to log. Okay, we are going to choose log base 2, so I'm going to write this 1 as log 2. Actually, it's not really important. So it's just a habit of mine to always write everything in the same base, including the numbers. I will usually change them to logarithm. But it's okay, we don't have to do that. So to change base, I'm going to duplicate this, and I will write a fraction here. Okay, where the just to replace the term that I'm gonna do change of base. I realize that the root 2 is a little bit lower, is in the subscript, and x minus 1 is slightly higher, is not the subscript. So x minus 1 goes on top, okay, root 2 goes below. Now I can write down log, and I can choose any base I want. In this case, I'm going to match the base with the first term. I'm going to write 2. Okay. The next step will be to realize that I can actually write the root 2 as 2 to the power of half. Okay, 2 to the power of half. And then actually I can take the half and I can bring it outside. So let me just do that in one step. I'm going to write the 2 a little bit bigger, and then I bring the half out. Okay, the good thing is that this log base 2 is equals to 1. And when I divide something, divide by half, it's just multiplied by 2. So I'll write that down. Okay, log base 2 4 minus x squared minus 2 log base 2x minus 1 equals to 1. Okay, once I have this, I can actually bring the 2 up as the power. Okay, so I'm going to bring the 2 up as a power, and I will get log base 2 4 minus x squared minus log base 2 x minus 1 squared equals to 1. Now I have log minus log, so I can write it as a fraction. Okay, so let's recall at the side. Okay, whenever we have log base anything, okay, minus log base anything, okay, so a minus b, I will get logarithm, same base, first guy over second guy. So let's do that. I have log base 2 4 minus x squared over x minus 1 squared equals to 1. Now I have log base 2 here. I want to take out all these stuff inside. I'm going to exponentiate using a 2. Okay, so if I use a 2 here, I need to use a 2 on the other side. 2 to the power of log base 2 will cancel out. I'll get this stuff here. This is just 2. So I should write it here. Okay, so I will get 4 minus x squared over x minus 1 squared equals to 2. Let's manipulate it a little bit and expand everything. So this will be like this. And okay, and then I'll expand the bracket. Okay, like this. Let's throw everything to the right hand side. So I'll get 3x squared minus 4x minus 2. Okay, let's see. Okay, we can't factorize this. So if we can't factorize this, then the next best way is to use quadratic equation. So you can use your calculator, but I usually would just I don't like to just use the calculator, because it seems like it seems like I'm not doing any work, so I just feel a little bit guilty lah if I don't do any work and just use the calculator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use my quadratic equation. So I'll put this, okay, minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac, okay, over 2 times a. And this is 4 plus minus root 40 over 6. And if I type it into the calculator, I will get two values. This, okay, or that. Okay, the second one I'm going to reject because in the previous part we have shown that x is between 1 and 2. So that's why the hence part comes in useful. So the first solution is okay. I'm going to round off to 3SF. And we are done. Okay, so that's all for this question.